If you ever find a memory card in the woods, just leave it. Don't let your curiosity get the better of you, because you might not like what you find. This is the story of a hiker who ignored that warning, and the footage he left behind changed everything. I should know, because I'm the one who found it. It all started on a trail I'd walked 100 times before. It was a crisp autumn afternoon, the leaves crunching under my boots. The trail was completely empty, which was unusual, but I didn't think much of it. About a mile in, off to the side, I spotted a torn backpack half buried under a pile of leaves. It was weathered, like it had been out here for a long, long time. There was no phone, no wallet, no ID, nothing to identify who it belonged to. Just one small black memory card, taped securely to the inside flap. It felt important, deliberate, like someone wanted it to be found. Against my better judgment, I took it. Back home, that little piece of plastic felt like it was burning a hole in my pocket. I kept telling myself to throw it away, to forget I ever saw it. But you know how it is. The mystery was too strong. I plugged the card into my laptop, and a folder popped up. Inside were about a dozen video files. No names, no titles, just timestamps, and they were all from the same night, years ago. I clicked on the first one. The video flickered to life, showing a man's face, lit only by his headlamp. He looked exhausted, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and disbelief. "My name is Alex," he whispered, his voice shaky. "If you're watching this, don't make the same mistake I did." He turned the camera around. He was standing on what looked like a paved road, but all around him was dense, dark forest. "According to my GPS," he said, pointing the camera at his phone screen, "I'm in the middle of nowhere. Just woods. But, he panned the camera forward, and my breath caught in my throat. Who was standing at the entrance to a town. An old-fashioned small town that looked like it was pulled straight out of a history book. There were quaint houses with white picket fences, a general store with a faded sign, and a single flickering streetlight casting long, eerie shadows. The strange part, there was no power out here. No power lines, no cell service, nothing. Yet the lights were on. He started walking into the town, his footsteps echoing in the unnatural silence. The houses were all dark, but he pointed out that some of the windows were open, curtains fluttering in a non-existent breeze. On one porch a tricycle was parked neatly, as if a child had just left it there moments ago. On another, a newspaper sat on a welcome mat, yellowed with age but perfectly preserved. "It's like everyone just vanished," Alex murmured. He checked his GPS again. It was still just a green expanse of forest on the screen. The town he was standing in simply didn't exist. As he ventured deeper, the camera started picking up things that he didn't seem to notice at first. In a playground, a single swing was moving back and forth, slowly and rhythmically, even though the air was completely still. He walked past a dusty car, and as the camera panned away, you could clearly see fresh footprints appearing in the dust, right behind where he had just been. But there was no one there. Then, for just a split second, the camera caught it. At the far end of the street, standing perfectly still under a dying streetlight, was a shadow. It was tall, thin, and shaped like a person. But it was too dark, too solid. It didn't move. It just stood there. Alex's unease was growing. He decided to check out what looked like the old municipal office, a brick building with "Welcome to Harmony Creek" engraved over the door. The door was unlocked. Inside, dust covered everything. Desks were piled with paperwork, frozen in time. He started sifting through the documents, his light scanning over faded pages. He found town records, birth certificates, and then he found it. A thick file stamped with a single word in red ink, "Quarantined." The date was 1998. He flipped through the pages. It was a list of all the town's inhabitants, over 200 names. Next to each name, the same word was written. Lost. No explanation. No cause. Just ... Lost. Pinned to the last page was a blurry black and white photograph. It was taken on the main street he had just walked down. In the center of the photo, standing where the shadow had been, was a figure. It was tall and impossibly pale, with long limbs. It had no discernible face, just a smooth, blank surface where its features should have been. A cold dread washed over me as I watched. I knew what that was. It was the thing from the end of the street. Alex let out a choked gasp and dropped the file. He scrambled backward, his camera shaking wildly. He had to get out of there. He bolted out of the office and back onto the main street. And that's when he saw it. It wasn't at the end of the street anymore. It was right there, in the middle of the road, not 50 feet away from him. That same tall, pale, faceless figure, just standing there, staring at him. T didn't scream, he just ran. The footage became a blur of dark trees and frantic, heavy breathing. Behind him, the streetlights of Harmony Creek went out, one by one. Plink, plink, plink. The town was being swallowed by the darkness, and something was chasing him. He risked a glance behind him, and the camera caught it for a horrifying second. The figure was moving, gliding over the ground at an impossible speed, closing the distance. Then, he heard a whisper. It was right behind him, a dry, rasping sound that wasn't human. It whispered his name. Alex, double quotes his final clip was different. He was hiding, huddled in the corner of what looked like the first floor of one of the abandoned houses. The camera was pointed at his own terrified face. If someone finds this, he whispered, tears streaming down his face. Don't come here, don't look for this place. It knows you're watching. He opened his mouth to say something else, but a sudden, violent bang on the wall right behind him cut him off. The camera fell, the footage erupting into a chaotic storm of digital static. And that was it, the last file. I ripped my headphones off, my heart pounding in my chest. The silence of my own room was deafening. And then I heard it. A soft knock at my front door. It wasn't a normal knock, it was slow, deliberate. 3 soft taps, key, exactly like the bang on the wall in the final recording. My blood ran cold. I was frozen in my chair, too terrified to move, too terrified to even breathe. My eyes darted back to my laptop screen. The file directory was still open. And sitting there at the bottom of the list was a new video file. A file that hadn't been there a minute ago. Its timestamp was from right now. With a trembling hand, I double-clicked it. The video opened. The quality was perfect, crystal clear. It was a view from a camera, looking into a dimly lit room. My room. It was filming from the corner of my ceiling, looking down at the back of my head as I sat at my desk, staring at the screen. Slowly, agonizingly, the camera started to pan down. It was turning toward me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. And remember, be careful what you find in the woods. You never know who or what might be waiting for you to press play.